Hello there guys, and welcome to another LOLsys video. And in this video I will be going over Lee Sin jungle in patch 5.23, but this will probably almost work for nearly every single patch since for Lee Sin unless they make dramatic changes to him. But before I get into that, you'll see a very lovely image on the screen. This is the new banner for the channel and intro image. So this will be on the beginning of every YouTube video. It's my channel banner for the channel and Twitter. And this was made by, and I hope I don't screw your name up, but Neglius on YouTube. I found him by Google, funnily enough, would you believe, and I sent him an email and he was nice enough to make this up for me. So his channel to YouTube will be in the description of the videos, and it'll also be in the channel description. If you go to the About tab on my channel, you'll find out where to get him if you ever fancy needing some stuff done. So shout out to him, fantastic guy, love his art. Never know, we might need more. But let's get into the video. So as per usual, we're going to start with the runes. Now again, you'll notice it's still pretty much the same rune page from the Quinn video, where we have 980 marks, the 380 quints, the 9 armor sails, and the 9 magic resist glyphs. Pretty standard. I like that on Lee Sin, pretty solid. I don't have any issues with it. I guess you can kind of maybe flex it with maybe magic resist per level, but again it's purely up to you. I prefer to just use flat MR, which again is exactly the same because I use it for both junglers, or well, I could even just for at a stretch Rengar really. But then again, you might want to stick some CDR in there, but I might do Rengar in a different video. But for the Masteries page, you can see it's exactly the same as the Quinn page. Work all the way down the Frosty tree, get the Fervor, Keystone, and then again, work your way down 12 points in the Cunning tree. Boss will last longer, you can do more damage. So it's pretty much it's this rune page I kind of like. If you want something to it, it's like attack, sustain, pretty much. Like Frosty tree is mainly attacking, Cunning tree is like mostly kind of sustaining. That's another way you can kind of look at it if you really wanted to, but again 18-12-0 for jungle Lee Sin, pretty standard. And then you guys will see on screen now, we're going to go into the skills, and I have a nice lovely image that should hopefully maybe one, not look completely squished, and two, cover most of the screen. This covers every single ability for Lee Sin, including the passive, what all of the skills do, since there's usually like 2 parts to each skill. So it saves me having to explain all of them. It means you can also pause it and read them on screen, but I'm just going to go through what I like to max. I take Q first on Lee Sin, take Q for the good clear, does the most damage, plus the smite on whichever camp you decide to start at, perfectly fine. I like to take W next to get the shield and a bit of lifesteal for the clear, works fantastically well. I've tried A, I prefer W more though. I prefer just naturally, like some people will go A to get the slow to maybe try and kite the jungle camps, but I don't personally see the point. I prefer just to go W, much better. Then obviously level 3 you'll take A, so by level 3 you'll have all your skills Q, W and A. I like to max Q, then I max W, then I max A. I know you maybe can max Q then A, but I just prefer to have like the extra shielding and stuff from Safeguard, and then the extra lifesteal and spell farm that Iron Will gives you. So I guess I just actually live a tiny bit more in fights just due to this, so that's why I like to go W max second and not E, which is Tempest. And hopefully during this video, as long as I have not gotten trash footage from a game I've literally just played, I'll be putting footage of that on the screen at certain points during the video, because next we're going to discuss the item build. So instead of having you guys stare at the item build for like maybe 4 minutes, I'm going to put some footage on the screen during the game, and then also I'll use footage from me doing my first jungle route as well. So without further ado, we shall now get into the item build. And now we shall get into the jungle route part of the video. We're going to do this 4th, I believe, this time, just to mix up a bit. So as you can see from the footage, I'm starting at Gromp with my bot lane, getting a lovely leash. So again, Q the big Gromp, smite it, you'll get the stun effect, you can kill the small one. Really simple. You'll see me Q it to kill it, get level 2, and I get my lovely shield. And because Q's have cooldown, I just walk in, start off with a W, walk back just kind of, just wait for Q to generally come off cooldown, fire the Q. It's pretty standard really, just like QW combos. I also pop my first out of 3 health potions on the red buff. You'll be thinking, oh, he's gonna die. Nah, I don't die. Just kill the red buff, fairly straightforward. Eventually I kill the red buff. It should be fairly straightforward. There we go, red buff is finally dead, and now I make my way over to my blue buff. But usually when I do this, as you see I'm doing right now, I check some of my other lanes to see how they're getting on, see if I can maybe pick up a gank after getting my blue buff, but that's what I tend to do. Just, you'll see me, like, if I ever put footage into my jungle, which I probably will, you'll see me naturally just you will see me just some casually skip and check lanes. So now, as again, I believe I used a health potion, and I'm just killing the blue buff. I'll house man up again for this. Blue buff dies fairly easily. I'll get level 3. It's all very well and good. So get level 3, then I usually look for a gank. As it happened in this game, there wasn't really anywhere to gank. So after the gank, well, failed attempt to gank, and I look for a gank. If there isn't one, I usually get the crab, and then depending on my health, I tend to go back and do some more clears, try to put as much pressure as possible. Since I'm Lee Sin, you want to put as much pressure as possible as early as you can. You might not get kills, but you'll blow summoners, which is absolutely fantastic. So that's been the little quick jungle route for this bit, and next we shall move on to the very, very fun bit, the item build. I shall see you guys then. And we're now into the final portion of the video, which will be the item build. In this bit I'm not going to stick the whole icon on the screen. I've kind of learned from that can maybe be a bit boring, so I'll put some footage, probably middle and endish bit, maybe even at the start. Ooh, you'll just have to find out. But we're going to talk about the item build. Again, it's pretty standard. Machete, 3 health potions to start off with. Again, I still don't really like refillable potion, and I just don't think, well, I guess you probably can do it with Lee Sin, and in all honesty, I just prefer to go 3 health potions because you have that added value of, if you do, you'll probably use 2 potions on the clear originally, then if you decide to go for a gank, and it's successful, or you get crab, like, if you manage to get the crab, you'll still be, like, fairly healthy, plus another health potion, you can go back and just clear the entire jungle, maybe get another 1 or 2 ganks also. I just think it's a lot more profitable for that extra health potion, but that's just me. But that's how I prefer to go now. I know there's a lot of ways you can build Lee Sin. I prefer to go, as I do on every jungler now, Tracker's Knife, and since Lee Sin is AD, we shall go Tracker's Knife damage. Now I know a lot of people saying, do I go Tracker's Knife and then say like damage and sweeper, or do I go, say for example, the blue smite or the red smite damage and then build a sight stone since it can hold 2 extra wards? Honestly, I think it's debatable. It's very, very debatable. I think it depends more on your own particular playstyle rather than anything else. Because I mean, I could sit here and tell you that Tracker's Knife is way, way better because it's like 2 wards for free and you get a sweeper, and it means you also fill up a slot to build either more tanky or more damage. Again, that's my opinion. That's what I prefer to build. That's what I personally think is better. You might think getting Chilling Smite and a Sightstone is better, or Skirmish's Saber and the Sightstone is better. I don't, because Tracker's Knife is there, and I think that's what it's meant to be. Not specifically designed for, but with how the vision changes have came in, that's what I think Tracker's Knife is designed for junglers. So that's just me personally, but with the Tracker's Knife and damage, I will then mostly go for a Black Cleaver just to give me that little bit of damage and armor pen and CDR, stuff like that. So that's a nice item on Lee Sin. Then after that, I think it's purely situational, because you can get that, you can get more lifesteal, more damage by building a Hydra, which again will help you clear the jungle, even though it's going to be around mid game. But you'll kill jungle really easily, get more lifesteal back. May save your bot in a few team fights a few times. But if you think that, I mean, this is me personally, again, I prefer to go the slightly tankier option of Lee Sin. So if they're mainly armor, I'm going to go for Dead Man's Plate, Thor Mail, Steric's Gauge on Lee Sin, because I think all of those items benefit him really, really well. The Thor Mail just a generic good against all AD item. The Dead Man's Plate with the passive to help speed him up, to allow more Qs to try and do his combo easier, I think is really, really good. Plus then Steric's Gauge gives you the massive shield with the more health you have, which every other item roughly in the build will give you. It'll be fantastic. Plus, like, the only magic resist item that will be in that particular sort of build will be Mercury Treads, because it gives you the tenacity that you need to really survive more, as well as the extra health and armor. So that's what I prefer to do. But if you're against an ability power team, say Cannon top, LeBlanc mid, say even a Morgana support, so like triple AP, in that case I will probably just go the Hex Drinker into Mordius route because it's a really good item since it got buffed. It's not just for the Hex Drinker shield anymore, it does give some nice added bonuses, sorry, and it also means I'll probably end up buying a Banshee's Veil, just because I don't think Spiritual Salve really benefits Lee Sin all that well. I prefer just, have the Banshee's Veil so you can block an ability, so you can actually get in there and try and, Q or combo, because 9 times out of 10 you'll be fine if you don't have a Banshee's. Like, your Banshees will block that one ability that would have stopped you from initiating or doing your combo, so Banshee's Veil I think works really well in this scenario. So for final build, if I was going against a mainly armor team, I would be building Chakras Knife damage item, Black Cleaver for the little bit of added damage, and then for the full armor it's going to be Dead Man's Plate, Styx Gauge, Thorn Mail, and then for boots it's going to be Mercury Treads. That would be my 6 item build. But then again, if you're against AP, you can switch out the Styx Gauge for a Hex Drinker, you can probably switch out the Thorn Mail for a Banshees. I would probably keep the Dead Man's Plate in there, just because I think the passives do, and a little bit of armor against an AD carry isn't a bad thing to have. Plus the Mercury Treads in there, you should be flying really. But with these type items you're really going to obviously want to make, because Lee Sin's an early impact jungle, so you're going to want to do your first clear as quickly as you possibly can, try and get a gank off, because like the more pressure Lee Sin puts in early the better. It doesn't matter if you don't necessarily get kills early game, because in some of the videos I'm going to show you, I go into a lot of lanes in like the first couple of minutes of the game and I manage to blow flashes. I don't get the kills, spoilers, but I do blow flashes, which means my lanes can play more aggressive, which means that the enemy will need to have their jungler come down, and if he does, they still have advantage because they should have summoners up, fingers crossed. But with Lee Sin, you're going to want to be rather aggressive, try to get as many. You don't need to necessarily invade the enemy jungler unless you know you can definitely beat him 1v1, but doing a lot of early ganks is what, because Lee Sin falls off, so you're going to want to get as many ganks in as you possibly can, get your team ahead, transition to mid game, because if you're like 6 or 7 kills up and 2 turrets up and a dragon up, you should really be able to take control of the game. But that's the item build I like to go in Lee Sin if you're against an AD or AP. Again, this is what I just think is personally better against those specific type of team comps. If you're the kind of Lee Sin that prefers to go YOLO Q and go full damage, by all means go ahead. I don't think it works as well. I think unless you know you can carry hard in whatever elo you're in without getting completely annihilated or one shot, then by all means go ahead. But I prefer to go the 2 options that I've explained. But again guys, thank you for watching another Lulsis video with me, Squirrel. Do feel free to like, comment and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. And if you know some friends that might find these helpful, hey, link the videos to them. They might find them helpful. Maybe you can subscribe to me. Shameless plug. And I'll continue to make more of these videos. So thank you guys for watching, and I shall see you all next time.